Welcome to my store. Okay, so they're acclimated to this water. And this is the water that we've been cycling into here. So I can just put them in. Now you put them all in one spot, and that way you find out who's doing well. Now you can see there's some white tips there. That's where they've been damaged. You can also see how some of the legs have a smaller, different color red on the end. That's where it's already regrown, okay? So when they get completely full size, you can't tell the difference anymore. The red will be the same color, but those tips are broken. So what we're gonna do, this is a 90-gallon tank. We're gonna fill it half full. Well, we're gonna fill it to 50 gallons. Because this Melafix here is the concentrated, it's the one for outdoor ponds and stuff, and it's 1 teaspoon per 50 gallons, whereas the regular stuff is 1 teaspoon per 10 gallons, US. So that way it's just easier. Every day we'll put in 1 teaspoon, and we'll do it for about 5 or 6 days until everybody's growing tips back on, and then they'll be fine, okay? As long as you look after them when they first come in, they're really easy to keep. It's just that if they get a bacterial infection, the bacteria can make them fall apart in like 2 days, okay? So we'll just wait for that. The seahorse, it's still dripping. You know, we don't drip them fast at all. Like, we got lots of time. We're here all day. Although we usually knock off early.
And today will probably, hopefully, be earlier. At least I can leave early.
I need my boy!
I've been here since 8. Normally I'm here at 11. I'm tired. I want to go home. And I'm going out tonight.
So what?
So? You're daddy.
And daddies are wonderful and brilliant.
No, he's horrible.
Don't mess with my hair.
You don't have any.
That's why I don't need you to mess with it. Okay, so we're going to do the Melafix. Now I said a teaspoon for 50 gallons, so you got to carefully measure this.
Yes, so carefully.
Okay, now you don't. It actually...
You probably should, but...
Well, I used to be a chef, so I'm really good at measuring. So there's 1 teaspoon, okay?
Smells like Vicks serpent.
Ooh, yeah.
Oof, yeah.
That does smell like Vicks Vapor Rub. But tea tree oil, Melafix, they figured out a way to get it emulsified so it'll stay in the water. Now, if you go to the drugstore, you can buy tea tree oil that's 100% solution, and it costs you $7. But the problem is it won't go in the water. We tried it. It just sits on top of the water and the protein skimmer takes it out. It doesn't do any good for your fish at all. So you got to buy this one. And they won't tell me how they emulsified it, so I can't share that with you. But it's this, Maroxy, Copper Safe, Lifeguard are basically my 4 main medications. I will use other things for certain stuff, like, you know, you get hole in the head, eczemitis, stuff like that. You use a more specific drug. And like say you got like gouramis, and if they start doing the shimmy, you give them tetracycline.
Shimmy.
Yeah, well they go oh, it's like shimmy. But yeah, Melafix, it covers almost everything. If you get a tear in an anemone, it cures it. You can put it on anything. It's safe for invertebrates. It's just, well, really good product.
Like, for example, this giant cup here had, see where there's no feelers right there?
There was a hole all the way through him.
And he was in a bucket over there, and Dad just medicated him every day, and within a week he was fine.
Yeah, it's all back to normal, happy, healthy.
Yeah. And
okay, we weren't thinking.
Why?
Well, this siphon stopped because when we took the water out of here, we had it tied up there.
Oh, brilliant.
So, yeah, Daddy is
He's
very
so
brilliant.
tiny. He will change almost completely. His markings will go to that of the giant, or when he's juvenile. So they'll go. His markings will go to like the bigger one, but that's intermediate. That's basically the same markings as the one down there where I was trying to find. He's really eager for food, as you can see. With my finger, he's going up nuts for it.
Okay, so we're going to take the scarlet hermits, and they're going to go in this first tank.
Tank number 1. You dropped one on the floor.
Yeah, well, you pick them up.
Brilliant. I like the scarlets especially because a lot of their shells already have coralline algae on them. So they look pretty cool.
You can see them running around in there. Okay, you always check your bucket to see if you got any that came out of their shell. This is one that came out of his shell. Now, he's probably still alive, so what we do is we toss him down there, and there's a whole bunch of shells down there. He'll just find a shell and go back in, and then he'll be fine. It's just sometimes that when you bring them in, you know, you got 100 in there, 1 or 2 of them might leave their shell. Now these ones, we're going to scatter them around.
What are they?
These are the blue leg hermit crabs. So we throw them in a whole bunch of different tanks because they're good scavengers. They keep everything clean.
But we don't put them in tank number 1 just because, well, that's scarlet solely.
Well, there are a few in there that I don't know how they get in there. Maybe they're hanging onto a rock when I move it. But basically, if you have them mixed, you got to watch them walking around and then pick them by the color. Because I got the dwarf zebras in here too, but there's not very many of them left, and they're mostly in bigger shells. Also, when you get the blue legs in, you got to look for the ones that have a big claw. Like I put them over here when I find them. They're actually a predator on the blue legs. Okay, there's one in that shell, there's one in the back there. But they have one claw that's really, really big. So whenever you see a hermit crab and they got 2 small claws, they're probably pretty safe. If they got one big claw and the other claw is small, oftentimes that means it's a predator. It eats astrias, it eats blue legs, stuff like that. You'll find them with them, and sometimes you'll get like 30 in an order, but they're usually bigger and they're in a bigger shell. So that usually helps. These blue legs came in all in a very small shell type of seraph, and there probably aren't that many in there. We'll just keep an eye on it over the next while, and if we see one that we'll take it out. Okay?
Now that tank is full for the starfish.
It's got 50 gallons in it, so now it's fine for the starfish.
And they'll scatter all over.
The one's already climbing up. What's going on in the world?
There's already a couple way over there. Dad,
What?
I think maybe you should turn this turbulence stuff down or move it to the back so you can see them better.
They like to hang out together. They're pretty friendly. You'll find a bunch of them under rocks when you go diving. You just start flipping rocks and you'll find them. And if you're in Florida or something, you'll find the serpent stars and you'll find the ripple star. Now when I was in Dominican, I was finding lots of them and lots of cucumbers and everything. So it was a really fun trip. I like to go and we take the nets, we get the capture nets, we get the cast nets, we got a net that's like a big, huge tablecloth with weight around the outside, styrofoam in the center. You put it over a rock so that it's out here. Fish comes out from underneath the rock, you scare them, and then you grab the net and head for the surface. Okay, because I'm usually fishing in less than 10, 12 feet of water. So it's easy, I hold my breath really good, and when you're chasing a fish, you really hold your breath.
I've never gone yet. Every time I went to Florida, I was too young to go with you.
Yeah, well, when we went to Dominican, you had the chance.
Yeah. Okay, well, shut up.